What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Sasquatch Performance Garage. Today I'm going to kind of go over what I have as far as vehicles, kind of give you an overview of what I want to do with this channel and what I'm all about. So first off, just a quick overview of everything that I got, right? So here I got my 2017 Ford Mustang Shelby GT350. I've had this for about about 7 months or so. I've put a good amount of miles on it. I got it when it was about 15,000 miles. I'm almost at 24,000 now. I do use this kind of as a daily for work, going to all the different places I work at, and just take it to car shows, do whatever with it. I've also done a lot of autocrossing with it. I'm gonna be going to some track days and some more autocrossing, obviously, as well. So that is my Shelby GT350. But let me take a quick walk around with it. All right, so walk around of the 2017 GT350. Color is magnetic metallic with the vinyl racing stripes over top, blue with the black outline. Actually really cool color combination. The blue really pops out in the sun and when it's clean, but it's pretty much all stock. I do have different tires on it, so it makes the wheel gap a little bit different and it sits a little bit lower. I got the Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's on there and a 305 30 19 all the way around, so it drops the ride about probably a ½ inch. It does have hood struts on it, so a lot easier to pop the hood open, along with a oil separator here. But factory air cleaner, factory everything, guys. It does have a resin air delete that was from the previous owner. Let me take you into a little interior look at here. So here we have the interior of the Shelby GT350. A lot of it is pretty much exactly the same as just a standard like performance pack Mustang from similar model years. Only thing is, it's got a numbered plaque right here, Shelby insignia in the middle of the steering wheel here. Alcantara around most of the steering wheel, but overall for the interior, guys, it's just like I said, just almost like a factory GT Mustang with performance pack, with the gauges and all that stuff. Nothing crazy with it. I do have the Recaros in this vehicle. Cool little GT350 insignia on the headrest there, but really nice seats, honestly. I wouldn't rather have anything else than this one, just because of the bolsters that it has, and really hugs you while you're going on the track, and then also just when you're going down the street, it feels pretty nice. Now here we have my 1989 Ford Mustang LX. I bought this probably about 6-7 years ago, maybe 8. Time kind of flies, but I bought this as a painted shell, as a roller, and with it, no interior or anything like that, no drivetrain. Like I said, it's just a painted shell. So I had it for probably about 4 or 5 years, along with a donor car that I had bought, a wrecked donor car that I just kind of kept at my parents' house, and I hadn't done anything with it, right? So my wife would get married in 2021 January, and at the time all we had was my wife's Honda CR-V and my Ford Ranger. You kind of see a little bit over there that you'll see a little bit more of. It's something cool to drive away from the wedding. So decided to start spending some money on this thing, and I built this car in about 8 months worth of Sundays. I only worked on it on Sundays. That's all I had time for while working, was just to work on this thing on Sundays. So I built everything from the motor. Only thing I had done on the motor was that I didn't do myself, was the machining. Obviously I don't have a way to bore out the block and line hone it and all this stuff at the house, right? So everything was done by me on this car, from suspension, drivetrain, even I've blown up the transmission once, and I had to rebuilt the transmission, T5. This is a really sentimental car to both me and my wife, because this is what we drove off in the wedding at. One of those cars you probably won't ever get rid of, just because of that that situation of it. But I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a walk around on this as well. All right, quick little walk around on the Fox body. So It's painted in ingot silver, you know, kind of a newer forged silver on there. It wasn't the best paint job, honestly. Kind of feel like it was a Mako without overspray, to be honest with you. But you know, standard LX taillights, LX bumper. It does have Flowmaster, you know, 3-inch tips on the back. SVE drift 18-inch wheels. But this is, you know, right here, this is where everything kind of happens. I do want to honestly touch up a lot of things in here, just because, you know, when I was putting this together, like I said, it was a quick job. You know, I kind of let some of the details, you know, get passed by, as far as I sandblasted a lot of stuff, you know, painted but didn't paint certain things, so, you know, getting kind of rust on brackets and stuff like that. Also, I want to wrap the headers. You know, I only wrapped the up pipes there and the down pipe, but I didn't wrap the headers. I would like to really do that as well, but you know, we'll go kind of more over what this car is and what it's about in a upcoming video. So, all black interior with a rear seat delete in the back. I really like this rear seat delete because it does actually offer like some storage spaces. Back where the rear seat was, it has a little pickup here. It's where I kind of store the car cover and other, you know, oil and towels and stuff like that. But again, you know, kind of a little dirty right now, but air interior is pretty much complete. Only thing I'm missing is this driver's side A-pillar cover, and then the cover that goes up on the like front of the headliner here by the windshield. That's the only thing this car is actually missing. So if anybody knows where to get those with, and this one without any gauge pillars or gauge pods, I don't need any gauge pods, guys. I got everything on my factory gauges here, and then my little Holley screen here. It does have 94,539 original miles. That is on the chassis. On the motor, this thing's been running for 2 years. Honestly, I didn't keep track of it. I think it's probably got about 6,000, 7,000 miles on it. I changed the oil more on time with this vehicle than mileage. I do drive this every once in a while to work on, like, say, a Friday, and, you know, I obviously go to car shows with it and stuff like that. Taking it to the drag strip a few times. Haven't done any cross-country trips or anything like that. Currently right now it has no AC and no heater, which is something that I would definitely want to change on this. Let's go ahead and get out of here, and we'll continue on to the next vehicle. Here we have my 1996 Ford Ranger XLT. This is also a really special vehicle to me. This was my first vehicle I ever had. My grandfather bought this brand new in '96, and when I started getting ready to drive, he pretty much gave it to me. And, you know, it's been through a lot of shit. You know, I was a pretty crappy driver back in when I was 16 and, you know, up until college. You know, so I put this through a lot of stuff. I put it through off-roading where it shouldn't be. I put it through burnouts and donuts and everything like that with just, you know, little 2.3 liter. This thing has been through a whole lot. I drove it all the way through high school. Once I graduated high school, I had a Mustang that I drove a lot, and this just kind of sat until my sister was ready to drive. She drove it all the way through high school and then all the way through college in San Antonio, and would drive back every once in a while to, you know, come visit the family, right? So after she got done with it in college, I took it back, and I've had it ever since. For a long time I used it as a daily driver to and forth from work, and, you know, it's just kind of just one of those things, man. You know, you just kind of get really attached to something. You know, like I said, this is my very first vehicle. Not the first one I paid for, but my very first one. And I'm gonna kind of take you a little walk around for it. And you know, nothing really special, obviously, but it's something, you know, special to my heart. And, you know, I'm sure most of you can kind of understand. You know, your first vehicle is always something a little bit special, right? So let me show you. All right, so as you can tell, single cab, long bed XLT, just white with some blue interior on it. It does have a rubber mat in the back of the bed. I've had that for the whole time. You know, a lot of little dings and scratches and everything, that each one of them tell a story. It's been through a whole lot. But even with being through a whole lot, you know, it's actually super extremely reliable, to the point where it's got factory AC. Like, not even just factory AC, but it has the factory compressor. Never replaced any refrigerant on it, so it's got the factory amount of refrigerant, no leaks, no nothing. It just goes and keeps on ticking. Only thing I've replaced on it is water pump and a alternator and tensioner for the serpentine belt, and that's really about it. Interior is still in you know, decent shape. It does have some stains on the carpet, and let me show you that real quick here. All right, so going into the interior here, like I said, all blue interior. Don't know what they were thinking of back then, but it worked for it, honestly. So like I said, headliner still in pretty good shape here, but you know, I mean, it's an old 96 truck, but still in really good condition. I do have a few screws into the dash here to keep this up. After a long while, you know, those clips they break, and it was getting kind of dangerous. You know, when you shifted, it would actually this would fall out, and you know, it'd be kind of a scary situation, especially if somebody else was driving it. I was used to it, honestly, but when I lend the truck to, you know, any of the family, if they got, you know, have to use a truck for anything, they do get kind of upset about it. So I ended up fixing that. I ended up, you know, kind of rigging that up, but you know, like I said, it's not a truck that I'm ever going to sell. This is a truck that's going to go through a lot of crap and a lot of different changes, you know, throughout its life and my life. So as you can tell, it says 48,483 miles on it right now. That is in fact not true. When my grandfather had it, before he gave it to me, the odometer broke. It has a little plastic screw inside the instrument cluster that will spin and, you know, turn over the odometer there, and you know, it broke at about 31,000 miles on it. And you know, I just never wanted to fix it because my grandfather never fixed it. So, but I did get a new position within my company that required me to kind of keep track of mileage, and because of that, I did, you know, end up fixing that, and I've obviously put about 17,000 miles on it since. And it's just, you know, good memories with this truck. Really good memories. But again, you know, guys, this is something that's in pretty good shape. You know, gone through, you know, hell. It really went through hell when I was younger. My sister was really nice to it because she's not as crazy as I am, but she actually would always say that, you know, whenever I borrowed the truck when she was in town and she got it back, it would always run differently. She said after I got it back, she didn't like it, but you know, it's overall a really good truck. All right, we're gonna show you an engine bay shot real quick here. All right, so here is the engine bay of the 96 Ford Ranger. You know, as you can tell, pretty much nothing's really been changed. Like I said, you know, you can see that the compressor is factory one. You know, you can see a new alternator from O'Reilly's down there, but now that I open up the hood, you can see there's also a little bit of seepage, a little leak from the PCV system here. This is just a really old hose, and you know, it just been squirting out from the valve cover. So something easy to change. Just got to get that hose and make something work from it. But you know, overall, really solid truck. You know, never left me stranded, never had any issues or anything like that. I did change the timing belt on it. That was only, you know, probably about, I don't know, about a year ago. And it was the factory timing belt from 96. Like I said, this is just it's a miraculous truck that it doesn't give you any issues, hasn't broken down or anything like that. You know, other than, you know, your normal maintenance. You know, a plan for this kind of in the future, I would love to put a small block Ford in it, or maybe a Coyote. But what I'd honestly do is take the small block Ford out of the Mustang here and put it into this one when I build a new motor for the Fox body. So and that would be something kind of cool, you know, and lower it down a little bit, just a tiny bit. Last but not least, we have my 1929 Ford Model A two-door sedan. I keep this at my mom's house. I don't have enough room at my house currently. My garage is not where it needs to be as far as being able to bring vehicles into it and other sort of things, but I do want to go bring you guys over to my mom's house and show you my car here. So, little backstory on this thing. I got it from my grandfather that willed it to my family down here in Texas when he passed away in 2001. He had it since the early 70s. He got it from his family that was in Colorado. I have a little story that my parents actually drove off on their wedding in this car. So kind of a cool story, cool history. Been in at least part of my family for a very, very long time. You know, so let me give you a little walk around. There'll be a lot more videos on this thing here, but you know, just a quick little overview like the rest of the vehicles that we had here. All black. Interior is actually like burlap sacks, but I do have some car covers on there because I just don't like sitting on the burlap sacks. Cool thing that we have going on back here is actually bullet holes. So you can look here, got a little bullet hole there, as well as these three right here, and even that one, and some more down here. Who knows what actually happened? You know, it could be, you know, used for target practice out in the field way back in the day, or, you know, what I kind of like to prefer to think, you know, just wishing is that this car was used to run moonshine. It, you know, crazy story, right? And this, you know, getting shot up by the cops because they're on the run, whatever. But, you know, this is kind of what we got going on here. All right, we'll go ahead and take a little peek at the engine here. This is a all original as far as drivetrain is concerned. 200 cubic inch flathead 4-cylinder. Has still 6-volt positive ground. Model A's did come with an electric starter from the factory, so we do have that little guy there. We got our 6-volt generator there. Back when we first started working on this thing, it's kind of been an on and off situation. It had been not running for many years, and we actually tore apart the upper half of the engine. Didn't get into the bottom end or anything like that, but the cylinder head here was actually cracked right, I believe it was right in the middle, from between the distributor to this bolt hole right here, if I'm not mistaken, if I can remember correctly. And we actually did a repair on that. I took it to my shop teacher's house, and he helped me, you know, fix the crack through that cast iron there. And we painted it, we got it running. The engine was actually seized up, and we got it unseized with some Marvel Mystery Oil overnight, and then just got it just moved right over. So just the piston rings were just a little stuck at the moment, but pretty much replaced a lot of stuff on it at that point in time to get it running. We didn't know necessarily what was going on with it or what type of condition everything was in, so we took it all apart and replaced everything, rebuilt the carburetor, built the distributor, redid wiring on the whole car. As far as the ignition system is concerned, it's still got factory wiring on everything else in terms of lights and all that stuff. So we did do a little bit of work on it. You know, we did paint the radiator shroud black along with the back of the headlights black. Back in the day, I thought it was pretty cool looking. I still think it's pretty cool looking. So, you know, I'm not going for a car show quality thing. I want this to be able to be driven whenever I want to, or, you know, want to take it to a little car show or anything like that. Well, guys, I'm gonna end off here. I just wanted to let you guys see all the vehicles that we have working with here on this channel and the plans that we have for them. So, guys, please consider subscribing. I really appreciate you guys watching, and I hope you guys decide to, you know, come along for the journey on all these vehicles. And I will see y'all next time. Thanks.